Hey guys, good evening. It's been a minute. Sorry. I've gotten so caught up with things lately, including my beginner sessions and some, real life yard work and kind of details, that I haven't been streaming weekly, you know. Um, in addition, I haven't really had any time to plan stuff. I've kind of fallen behind all around. But tonight I'm really in a painting mood. I wanted to do something. If you've been by, really anytime recently, the last video that I had posted was my monochrome reflection switch. And let me get some music going here. Let me get that a little quieter in the background. Now that particular one I had planned out in a very similar fashion to what I'm going to do tonight. And I just thought instead of doing it on my own, kind of just hanging out here, I would kind of walk you through how I lay out a piece, how I kind of play with things, how I plan it out. Just kind of as a recap, this is the one that I had just posted. This is quickly becoming a favorite. And I really, really, really like the way this turned out, these swooshes on the sides, and I really want to do more of that. And so I wanted to play around. So the other canvas that I have, excuse me, is another black 10x8. Okay, so what I've done, I just got some construction paper. I stole some from my daughter. It's just 10x8. And then I took and marked that out, got a compass, drew some lines. The only two big circles that I did very, very intentionally were this outer one. That's a 10, because I want to make sure I know where my edges are, right? The middle one, and then this here. I guess you could say that these are two. This gap, because either this gap here or this gap here, what I want to try to do is actually incorporate some kind of random swooshes that go within the circle here. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet. I kind of have something in mind, have something in my head, but I don't know how I'm going to execute it yet. And so again, this is how I plan stuff. This is just me. This is like doodling. This is my version of doodling. Okay. So right now I've got a pencil in my hand. And the other thing, actually, let's see just a little bit. I have a multimedia sketchbook, and I've just grabbed a random blank page here. I've got stuff all over this. This is where I plan stuff out. This is where I play. This is where I goof around with combinations and write stuff down. And for example, this is kind of what I'm going to be doing tonight. I have dotted plans. Okay, so I'll attach that in there. I've got my notebook and a pencil, and every time I do a series of dots, I will write down the tool size that I've picked up down on the side here, and then maybe just a 1 or 2 word phrase that will tell me personally what that was for. This is a swoosh, this is a walk, this is color brown, whatever. I'll use my little shorthand. And okay, so let me set my pencil down. I wanted to do something, I really, really like the monochrome, but I didn't want to do 2 pieces in monochrome, at least not so close back to back. So I'm kind of compromising a little bit. I'm going to pick up the white and this dark gray. This is the same gray that I had on the other one. I got to get these in my palette. And then I chose 2 colors here, the magenta and the heather. And so on the black, I thought this would look pretty good. So we'll see. Now, this particular gray, I'd forgotten about it. It's a little thick. Well, not even thick. I shouldn't say thick. It's not the best quality. It's an apple barrel paint, and shake it here real quick. I've got my little ball bearings in there. Like I said, it's a little bit gloopy, little globs in it sometimes. Like I said, it's what it is, you know. It's like a $1.20 paint, whatever. Ooh, there's one there, little glob. That's what I'm gonna do. Let me get a little. Look at that. Ah, that's terrible. But you know what? I have magic. Okay, so I'm gonna get that out. Essentially, that's either been exposed to cold, which some of my paint was upon shipping. Thank you. Wherever the warehouse is stored. And some of it is just kind of inferior. So got a good section here. Make sure that there's not anything major else going on. Okay. All right, let me stick this here. Okay, so see how it's kind of stringy? Like I said, this is an excellent art for a beginner in painting, or just someone not very versed in anything, or just wanting to kind of go cheap. I mean, $1 a bottle. Magic. Gloss medium. Gonna add just about 3 dots in there. Okay. I'm doing my best to do this kind of slow so that I get it mixed in really well and I don't add any extra bubbles. Okay. There. That's better. Okay, now I don't have the strings. I could probably go a little more. No, that's okay. That's okay. Now that I've got that out of there, I can work with this. And like I said, because especially since I'm playing right now, I don't care. I am not going to be super picky about the paint. It might be a little thick, it might be a little thin, it might be a little wacky, but I'm just playing. I don't care. I'm not going to obsess over that. Gonna wait. I'm gonna shake you right along with me here. Heather. Magenta. Oops, I still have a little bit of silver in my palette, so let me use this one over here. Okay. All right. Just for a quick second. Okay. So let me get my notebook over to the right hand side of me here. Move this down. Like I said, I kind of have an idea where I want to go, but I don't necessarily have to follow that precisely if I don't want to. Okay, I'm all ready. Angle my camera a little bit better for you. Let's go. How about a 14? Go big or go home. Do we want to start gray or white? You know what? Let's just go right into this magenta. Get that in the middle, give or take. That's not very in the middle. All right, get that wiped off. And then again, I am just going to start writing stuff down here. Okay. I'm going to make my notes, so sorry. So let's do something like maybe a 2-5. And I'm just going to follow the palette around. I'm going to kind of scoot over a little here. Okay, let's go with like a 2-5. Leave some space. How do I want to do that? You know what I could do? Let me try something. All right. I'm going to move this off for a sec. I've got another way. Okay, because what I want to do, I want to get that a little more centered. Yeah, you know what? How do I want to do that? Something completely different. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna place you guys on hold. I can do that. All right, hang tight. I'll be right back, guys. There we go. Okay, I feel better. You know what I'm gonna do? I decided, because I realized real quick, like, oh hey, I didn't draw my guidelines on there properly and they're crooked and that's not gonna work. That's gonna screw me up faster than anything else. So let's do that over. So what I have, oops, let's get to the right side of the ruler. All right, so I've got a 10. And again, I just snagged this for my daughter's stash. Okay. 10 by 8. I just use a white charcoal pencil. So 1 second. Get that off of there. Quickly mark my corners. I could have just folded it, actually. But having that extra paper kind of flop around stuff too. So there's that. And then let's get a center in here. And where did I put my, all right, because I will get, not only, like you'd seen, I'm going to use a compass and get that laid out, but I do want some crosses as well. I do have a little tiny one. You know, that works. It's not the best, but it certainly does work. So I do that. All right, so okay, I'm gonna draw out my lines here, and you know what I'm gonna do, because I really don't need this right at the moment. I'm gonna put that down. Okay. All right. And I'm just gonna put it right here. I can take this. Now, if I want to, I can line that up, but I usually don't. I usually just go for the crosshairs here. So I've got the crosshairs in. Then I can mark these. Easy enough, right? And I'm going to grab my compass and we'll do the rest with that. Use the same white charcoal pencil. And get that in here. Okay. Now, usually I'll do something like a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and just draw my circles around. I don't know necessarily that I need all of that. Oops, actually, my pencil's not at the right height. Okay. I don't know that I need all of that tonight because I just probably need the outer circle and the inner like I was using before, just so I know where I want my swooshes to fall. But let's go out to a 10 first. And then I at least know, you know what, look at that. Silly me. I could have been doing that the first time. Just want to know where all my edges are. Now, somewhere about here, just my 8 mark. That's where I want to do another one. maybe a little in. Okay, let's do something like a 5. Yeah, something like that. Down to a 4. Try to get that hole right there again. And this is where I'll plan for my swooshes to be. Okay. All right. Unscrew my pencil. What I could do, just to help myself a little. That back in a second. Let's see. What do I want for a middle size? What were we going with? Like a 14-ish? So what I could do is let's go all the way down to a 2. I can find my hole. Okay, right in the center. Oops. Let's do another one here. Okay. Now I can unscrew it. Get rid of that. Okay. So again, we'll go back to a 14 center. Now, if I'm lucky. Ha, look at that. Okay. So I know that works for next time. All right, get that loaded up. That stands out so well on the black. Holy cow. Okay. So I think I actually liked the green, or the gray. So I can go back to that. I moved my notebook, so. Okay. Yeah, let's do a 2. I'm gonna go down a little bit from where I was last time. And then maybe this time, let's go in with some micro dots after this row. And then I can start to build my walked dots. Because very, very likely, I think I'm just going to have this space here filled with walk dots before I get to kind of this, whatever swoosh pattern is, this kind of randomness that's going to be in the middle. And I do want it to be kind of random. I don't want a structured design there in this space. I want to see what that looks like, because my plan is also, once I make it out to the edges, and potentially have some additional walk dots up here, that I start incorporating some more outside swooshes, just kind of flowy sort of things that go off and do their own thing. I think that's going to look really, really nice if my other pieces, something to go off of. All right, let's go. I'm debating, Because if I do micro dots here, oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can do white. You know, that's not going to hurt anything right now. I know it's going to be small, but... And these small dots, I kind of like doing these now more in the middle because they can also act as a little filler. And the little details start to make all the difference. Oops. What happened to my paint there? And if you hadn't caught the beginning, if you're just joining me right now, this is just kind of my sketch it out kind of doodle phase. This is not a final project. This is where I take my notes, I make adjustments, kind of play around with colors, play around with a couple patterns, goof up a few things. Whatever. Okay. All right, so I'm going to jot that down. So that was a 2 and then a 0.5 micro. Okay. Lights on. Okay, let's go to, thinking we can probably get away with the 4. Yeah. Let's do a 4 in this slight heather. Oops. Well, so far I like the color combination. Okay. Now, let's think. I probably want my walked dot pattern to end here so I can go into the swooshes. So we're going to have a large dot here. Let's just say something. Well, we don't want to go huge, so let's maybe go like a 3. And then I usually go down 1 tool size for the one below it. So it should be a 2. And then I would have to have a dot here. So I do need something larger than the 4. To put in some landing dots, essentially. Okay. But I do want them here. So let's do this. Let's go down to a 3. Okay. These are going to act like landers. Should probably go to a 5. I know that one's off. Silly me, paid attention to the wrong thing. Okay, let's get that centered-ish. Okay. I know that's going to bug the crap out of me, but it's a really good thing it's not final. Won't even notice it in a minute. Let's see. Let's do a 2.5. These are going to be the top of the walked. Okay. So that was a 2.5. So I'm going to go down to a 1.5 and we'll do the walk. After I get away from that issue, I'm going to be happy. It's going to drive me bonkers. Give or take. All right. Let me write that down. Okay. Okay, so I typically, like I said, I go up by whole numbers. So what I'll do, this was a 2-5, so we're gonna go 3-5. Okay, this is kind of right where I want to be, right at this guideline. So at least I know I kind of planned that roughly well for sizing. That is ripping my little heart out. Okay. That's a 3-5. I'm gonna go to a 2 though. I don't want these locks to be that ginormous. Almost. All right, so there's that. So 3.52. Now, I'm gonna go back into the 2. Because when I do this, now I can see, okay, well, I have these little spaces here. So now I know that I can come back in. And fill these in. Now that would have been 7 at 3. Now, depending on the sizes that I would have chosen for this, had I chosen different sizes, then this wouldn't have been possible. So that's why it's easier if you're going to do the landing dot, to do the landing dot first and then go back and fill it in. Because if I had chosen a larger size, this all would have been filled in. Okay. There. All right, so that's the 3 landing. now I have this space here. And normally what I would do is probably either put it in another dot and maybe another layer, something. But again, these are going to be my swooshes, and I don't know what's going to flow into them better. Maybe some really small swooshes or almost lines, but I think I'm going to focus on this area. So, get my trusty tool. What is... That's probably going to be like a 10, huh? If I wanted to do a hole, which I don't. So I think the largest that I'll probably use 6. Okay. All right, so let's play. Where was I at my colors here? Okay, so So I'm going to try to stay within this line. Let's do a couple of each size. And maybe I decide once I've done this that I don't want it to be as random, and maybe I figure out more of a pattern. I don't know. Kind of just see where this goes. A little chunky one here. Follow that corner. Just do something down here. Kind of try to get them all sort of go in different directions. I can probably follow right along this edge here. Okay, maybe I can squeeze one more in and do it pointing up. Okay, let's go down a size and then maybe fit in some halves if we need to. Okay. Now, so this is a 5. Oops, let me wipe this off so I don't mix my magenta in with my gray. That wouldn't look so great. Do I want them all close? No. I guess not. I could do sort of, I wouldn't say it's a pattern, but kind of have all the color sort of together. Let's see if I can make, let's follow this line. Let me get a little extra on here. Maybe I'll try to follow this edge. Let's do a real nice long one. Can probably go all the way here. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to bring this out so it doesn't look too skinny. biggest problem with doing this on paper. Okay. All right, that off a little. To some extent, I want to bring a lot of these down or up, whatever, to sort of touch the line so that I really have this space laid out. So it's very clear where that line is. All right, so that was a 5. Wipe my tool off and go down to a 4. Now this part, yeah, I'm definitely not doing anything random about that, right? So I've got all these in the same size and the same color, but okay, so this is a 4. Let's get that right in there. Wipe off my other tool. See if I can get another one of those nice long ones here. Oops. I use my dotting tools more like a brush in this situation, so I don't know why I don't use a brush, but never have. All right, so bring that down like that. Okay. Just letting these go wherever. Time for a 3. Let's see. So, what do we think so far? Is this actually going to work? To some extent, I am trying to fill holes, but I don't necessarily have to worry about the holes until later. You know, being deliberately random is kind of hard. Sounds fun. Just it's not easy. Okay. Now, as I just keep going, just dropping down a point size each time. Okay, so let's start. Let's see. Let's get these closer. Oops, wipe that off again. And I will start to use just dots at some point through this as well, once I get to the end. There's obviously going to be spaces, excuse me, that are still going to need to be filled. So I'll do as many actual swoosh shapes as I can. And then I'll come back in with the dots to fill that in. Just sort of dawned on me. I did another project very similar to the swooshes. Well, actually, I did 3 jars that I made into a set. And they all had this kind of random swooshes as well. But I did walk dots in there that I kind of splattered around. And that, I didn't even think about doing that, but that's a good idea too. Actually, now that I have a 1, that's a really good idea. Okay, so here's what I'll do then. All right, so now I've got, let's see where I can implement some of that. I think that works. Let's see. And I don't care about the size. I'm just redipping this one over and over. This is a really weird curve, so decided I'd better do something with it. It needs a little fill here, I think, but I'm gonna wait until the end and see if it kind of covers itself, if it looks decent or not. If it doesn't, I'll add a little more paint right here at the edge. Okay, so that's one. All right, so now let's we were at a 6. Let me go to a 5.5. Let me see. I think there are some spaces here that I could go ahead and use. Still the larger tool, but now I'm in a half a size. 2. Find some spots where there isn't any white. Okay. Gotta have something over here. Maybe I can squeeze one here. Okay. Let's go the opposite. Oops. I have a pink right there. I don't want one there. There's a little space here. Just big enough. Didn't quite get enough paint on my tool there. Okay. Okay. And that's probably it. We're at a 4, 5. All right. after this one, I'm gonna have to do some more walk dots. I could fill in with swooshes all day, but I didn't want to. Let's see. All right. Just kind of looking around, seeing where I can put stuff. Okay, 2-5, and we're in the gray again. No, let's skip. Let's go to the white so I can get a different color of walked dot. Okay, so let's find some of these areas here. Sorry, I'm flipping everything around a gazillion times. Okay. Actually, let's go down. So 1-5. I mean, that one's perfectly fine, but I want a smaller one. Okay. Or else we need some white here. Whoops, I smushed it a little. It's fine. I forgot how fun it was just to kind of, for the lack of a better word, kind of doodle, you know, just play around here a little bit. Don't have to have something really, really specific in mind. I've been doing that a lot lately. Almost everything that I've been doing is really structured and really planned out and really practiced. And even though whatever I design here is gonna, you know, eventually be on a canvas, it's just fun. All right, so just went down to a 1. Let's see. Just follow that curve. Just looking for little empty spaces that are not bordered by pink. So let's now go back up to probably a 2. I can probably get away with a 2.5. And let's do some more filling in. I needed some of the gray because I skipped the gray. All right. A lot of my swooshes are real typical teardrop shapes tonight, but they fit. I originally kind of imagined things a little more curly and stuff, but this is what it wanted to do, so this is what it's doing. Okay. Stay with that size. All right, let's see. Let's get some itty bitty ones in, and this will probably be the last set of swooshes. Oops. Goof that one up, that's okay. Let's practice. This is just for fun. We're okay. Need a white there. I do not want any more pink in that section. Okay. This one's a little heavy on it too, but I'll live here. Okay. Second time I did that. Mixing my colors up here. Okay, let me grab my 0.5. And I actually don't have any dark magenta dots, so let me just fill in wherever I can, and then I'll put a single tiny dot wherever if there's any spot where really I can't fit anything. Usually not a fan of like this where I have the magenta and the magenta touching, but it's okay. Make that a circle. Let's get a little swoosh in there. Okay. This needs something here too. Okay. And as you can see, I'm not even loading that up properly. I'm just literally grabbing paint. All right. I think that part's done. Did I miss anything? Anybody see any weird, maybe goofy sections that I missed? All right. Now, yeah. What do I want to do in the middle? You know what I'm going to do? I usually make my sessions, even for my practice here, about an hour. So what I think I'm going to do, not tonight. All right, so I've got this in. I actually like that. I wasn't sure that when I had this in mind that I was really going to like it, but I like it. So now that I have that, like I said, I stopped here with these ones because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in this section. I wasn't really sure what was going to flow into this well. What I am considering, I could do... Okay, one of two things. I could do a series of swooshes that come in, so one straight and then like one here, and fill this up completely with swooshes as well, but make them nice thin lines. So that would be option one. I could do another row of walk dots, maybe just on one side. I don't like that much because even if I do just one side, I want to be able to have a dot above it so that it continues, but it would only be this side, so it's kind of be funky. I could do some micro dots though and fill in a little more space there. I could do a reverse. I could do a set of walked dots here with the petals coming out. I could do some large crowns. I could do a couple large dots here and like a third one here. Oh, I think I'll probably end up doing like the real thin lined swooshes because I think that'll blend right into this. And then on this outside, I wanted the walk dots to end here, but they probably could. Once this is dry, maybe I'll add in another guideline somewhere here in the middle. And then maybe I'll just make another row of walk dots here in this section on these pillars. And then maybe duplicate this center here, just out on a wider scale, and have some real nice thin swooshes come out here. I think I like that. And then what I wanted to do is leave, actually, contrary to this one here, kind of backwards, is have some big walk dot series here and like here, for example, and then leave this space open because I wanted to do swooshes that kind of came in and around those walked dots. So they follow the line of the walked dot down on one side. So, okay. Like I said, I think I'm going to leave this one here. I'll probably come back to it later. I don't know if that's going to be tomorrow or this weekend. I guess it kind of depends. what things look like. But this was fun. I like this. You know, like I said, I normally do this kind of stuff. This kind of just playing around and making mistakes and stuff. You know, just at my desk, just playing around. I don't record that stuff. Oh, and actually I forgot to write a lot of this down. If you hadn't seen it, like I said, this is kind of what I do. There's not much here, but I'll just write down sort of what I've done. And then I'll make myself notes on the side. Hey, this one's a little too big. This one's a little too small. Like this, right? I had done this a while ago and I'm all over the place. And that's what I do. That's how I work. So like I said, I thought I would kind of give everybody a little bit of insider information here. Kind of some creative processes. And we'll come back to this. And then what I think I'll do is once I've figured out exactly what I like about this and what I don't, maybe jot down some different sizes, and then I'll do it on my canvas. Then I'll actually go in and put this on the real 10x8 canvas instead of construction paper. Let me make sure here. I'm just going to jot myself down a quick note. I think I started with a 6. Okay. All right, so I've got my notes and I've got a good setup. If any of you are dropping in for the first time, this is, like I said, this is really the first time that I'm kind of doing a session like this. But if you guys like it, if you kind of like just watching the creative process and watching me mess around here, I will also do some final works live streamed. But come back at a later point. I do have 2 beginner sessions that are up and posted if you're interested in learning, that are coming up this next Saturday and then 2 Saturdays following that. So those are up, and then some other videos. So yeah, like, subscribe, come back for more. I will hopefully see you guys again sometime. I certainly appreciate you stopping by. Take care and have a fantastic evening. Bye.